right, folks, how are we doing today? Good, good. Well, welcome to Wild Florida, and welcome to our Crusher show. My name is Peter, and I'm going to be the spotter for today's show, which means I'm here to spot anything dangerous that could happen. And if something dangerous does happen, I will narrate it for you so you understand what's happening to our gator trainer, Christian. So let's all say hi, Christian.
Hi, Christian.
And we'll do it just in case. Bye, Christian. Hey, look, he knows it's not personal because in this show we get up close and personal with the real star here, and that would be Crusher. Now, he is no joke. This is our largest American alligator we have. The measurement on the length would be about 13 feet 8 inches long, but if you look at his tail, there is an abrupt end there, meaning he is missing a piece of his tail. So he's probably a 14 to 14 and a half foot long alligator. At that size, we could put the guess on his weight anywhere from 800 to 1,100 pounds. And we really don't know how old he is because this is a wild caught alligator. Now, most of our alligators here are wild caught through the nuisance alligator program. We literally filled this pond because people would feed wild alligators. They learned to approach people, trappers sent to capture them, and they were removed for being a threat to a person, pets, or livestock. Well, this guy was not our typical alligator story. This wasn't a neighborhood alligator that somebody fed and taught to be aggressive. Crusher was caught off of a cattle ranch. So you know what he was doing out there, right? He was causing some serious problems with those cows. Anytime that a cow went down to one of the shallow little cooling ponds to lay down or take a drink of water, they weren't the ones at risk, because this lazy predator would prefer to hunt the calves that they would bring with them in the springtime. A very easy meal for a large alligator. And one year the farmer actually noticed Crusher taking a bite out of his profits, and that's when they sent a trapper to remove the alligator, but they both agreed not to kill Crusher because he wasn't harming any people. No people were under any type of threat by this alligator. So he was initially captured and brought to an alligator farm, where Crusher was the stud alligator in their breeding program for many years. And while I'm sure he did love that job, once Wild Florida opened and we started filling this pond behind us with those other rescues, he moved in and immediately gave us a bunch of problems, like right away. He learned that we do a feeding in the exact same spot twice a day, every single day. So guess what? We would show up to go and feed, and he's already sitting there waiting for us to arrive. Once we would start to call the other alligators over to the show, he would bite them in the face until they left, and there would only be one alligator left at the alligator feeding show, and that would be, of course, Crusher. Now, we didn't want to punish him because he was smarter than everybody else, so that's why we built this bachelor pad about the size of the pool they caught him out of. I made this nice little gate here for him to walk right into his new home, and all we had to do to convince him to do it was call him by his name and give him a few pieces of chicken, just like what we do at our alligator feeding show. Now, I know that sounds crazy, right? How can you train an alligator? It's actually very easy to train an alligator. Once they're given a piece of food, they remember how they got it for the rest of their life. So you create a pattern leading to food, and they create that pattern when you ask them to. It's just better to demonstrate, all right? So the first thing that I need from you guys is some help doing the Crusher feeding call. Now, it's a very special call that if we can all repeat together, we should be able to get this alligator so excited that he launches himself up out of the water. And if at this point he doesn't launch up out of the water, this would be the end of our show right here. So this is the real test. So, can you guys repeat after me?
Yes.
Yes. All right, ready? That's pretty great, right? No, that doesn't work at all. But what does work is if you're here with some chicken, that works every single time. Like I said, something has to be done, and then he gets food. In the wild, he'll learn, oh, this animal's drinking in this spot. I'm going to remember that, and they know animals like to drink in that spot. They catch them and kill them. So we bring that to a captive setting and a management setting here, where we want to work with this alligator. And what Christian is doing here is using 3 very simple commands Christian, look around. Look, everybody got all scared when you got in the water. What's wrong? What's wrong, guys? Christian's an expert. I've been working with him for about 10 years. Plus, safety is always first with this guy, and that's why he's wearing Crocs today. That's right, guys. That's right. Now again, 3 very simple commands are what we use. And it's all about being repetitive because their little brain is very good at picking up on patterns. So the more consistent we are with the pattern, the more consistent he is in his response. So we use the here command, where we say the word here. Sometimes we'll say Crusher's name and we'll point right in front of us. The next command we use is the up command. For up, we basically wave at him like this and hope that he opens his mouth. And that brings us to our third hold command. Hold is important because when we teach Crusher to hold, what we're doing is we're showing him that he's made it to the food reward. He just has to wait until Christian places the food in his mouth. This is important because what this does is allows us to bridge this reward after something else. So he knows to sit and hold while Christian touches him all along the face. Everywhere Christian is touching him, Crusher has tried to bite us for doing so. But every time Crusher tries to bite, we don't reward him with any food. We reward that calm, relaxed behavior. That's why you saw Christian was able to go all the way down the entire top of the skull to the back of the skull plate, touching the ears, the eyes, the nostrils. Again, all of those places, the alligator would normally turn and bite anything else that would touch them there. But every time he tries to bite us, we don't give him a piece of food. Every time he sits calm, he gets a piece of food. So if somebody told you, hey, every time you run a lap at the gym, I'm going to take $100 from you, and every time you sit there and do nothing, you make $100, we're all going to sit there and do nothing. It's easy. So it's the same with the alligator. Rewarding this calm behavior gets us to the point where Christian can really try to distract him based on his instinctual desire to attack prey with its back turned. And you can see Crusher does not want a piece of ham today. He's just sitting there waiting until he gets that piece of chicken. And really the reason why this works is because of what I said. We're not taming him. We're just drastically reducing the amount of attempts he takes at biting us by rewarding good behavior and ignoring negative behavior. So if he sits still and relaxed, he gets an endless amount of food. And if he tries to kill Christian or bite him or drag him in the water, we all just ignore it. We pretend like nothing bad happened. We wait until he does something good. So Christian,
what's up?
I'm gonna pick the next stunt, bro.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I can pick though?
Yeah.
You sure? All right, how many of you guys want to see Christian put his head inside of Crusher's mouth?
No! Ooh, yeah!
We got one yes! That was a yes, right? There we go, okay, so... Hey, dude, you said I could pick. You said I could pick. All right, so here we go. Christian is going to insert the grape.
Please eat.
Here we go. And look around, look, we got him again. Look, we're not doing that, guys, come on. Are you serious? His name is Crusher. Oh yeah, here you go, bud. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna see if Christian can get my hat back from Crusher after he wears it here. Now there is a reason for this training. When you're capturing alligators or moving them around, a lot of times you have to cover their eyes. So what we like to do is get Crusher used to us placing things on his head, because most of the time something placed on his head will result in him trying to shake or bite or attack. And really, the main reason why we're doing this is to try and condition him to allow us to enter the blind spot behind this animal. And we know the answer to what happens if you walk behind a horse, right? Kick you right in the face. If you walk behind an alligator, they're going to use their immensely powerful tail to spin their mouth towards you. So what I'm going to do is, once Christian gives me the okay, I'm going to walk past Crusher here. Now everywhere I'm walking, he could turn and he could bite me. And remember, alligators are flexible enough to bite their own tail. So that's where I'm going to go. Right behind the alligator to the tail. And you can see naturally he lifts his tail up out of the water. And we can give you the perfect demonstration of why I'm in the water here for an emergency vet checkup. Let's say we need him to be checked on. We can't bring him to the vet's office, right? So what we do is we take a blood sample. And that's done right here at the end of the tail. Now what I can do is grab the tail. Sometimes they'll try to spin and bite while I'm doing this, so we do need to be very careful. And you see in between the hard and protective scales, there's these much more softer, fragile scales. I am going to agitate him until he feels that, and you see him tensing up his tail off my fingernail, scratching him. again, my fingernail's not nearly as sharp as a needle would be, so we need to make sure we really get in there and mess with him when we're doing this so that he understands, while that guy's being annoying behind me, he's not actually hurting me in any type of way, and the result is going to be food. That way we don't have to restrain Crusher if he needs a vet checkup, and that makes it stress-free for the alligator. And who cares how stressed out the veterinarian is, right? That's part of their job. They work with these animals too. Christian, I tell you what, Crusher's being too good. Let's see if we can really distract him. So, nothing distracts an alligator like food and the sound of food. And in nature, the sound of food would be the sound of an animal swimming in the water. Even better, if they're already drowning in the water, the alligator just gets to go up and start eating. So, I'm going to jump in right by his tail and splash around and make drowning animal noises, and we'll see if Crusher listens to his training and waits for a piece of chicken, or if he listens to his instinct and eats this big giant chicken right here talking to you guys. Alright, are we ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Crusher! Help me, Crusher! Help! I'm drowning! The water's too deep! I've fallen and I can't get up! He doesn't want to bite. He doesn't want to do anything. It's okay. I'm going to get out of the pool, though, because I don't have any chicken for this alligator. And if you stay in too long, the water gets nippy. Because the alligator bites. Never mind. Alright, so let's see if we can get Crusher to move around a couple more times. Because most of our training results, we want him to be nice and calm and relaxed. Sometimes we'll ask him to spin or to jump. Now that left and right motion, when he is moving at his fastest, is the top speed an alligator can do. And that is their quickest movement, left and right. Left and right. Last piece. Alright, so with our last piece, we always got to end our training sessions with animals on a positive note. So we're going to give Crusher a positive reward and a little bit of love. So Christian is going to give Crusher what we like to call the kiss of death. Death, 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 Oh, so again, look, he tried to bite Christian. We just ignore it. We pretend like nothing happened. Alright guys, make some noise for Crusher and Christian. That was a flawless training session. And we thank you both. And we thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching our favorite show to do for you. Just remember one thing, don't ever do this at home, right? If you feed a wild alligator, they get comfortable, they end up chasing people, alright? And what happens if you get chased by an alligator? You run. Never in a zigzag, alright? There is an old wives' tale here in Florida. Run in a zigzag, do a zigzag. That's what I was taught in kindergarten. Same with Christian. We both grew up here. And thankfully, neither of us were chased until we were told otherwise. Because running in a zigzag is exactly what they want. They attack left and right, so if you run left and right, you're helping the alligator capture you and eat you. So just remember, on land, alligators can only run between 5 to 8 miles an hour. As a human, your top speed is 11 miles an hour, plus you're scared, you're going to be a little bit faster than that too. And if you don't think you can run 8 miles an hour, well, hopefully we'll see you at the next show, alright? Thank you guys again. We'll see you around. Enjoy the rest of your day here at Wild Florida.